Megyn Kelly, well, so much to unpick here, but look, let me ask you first, what do you think we're going to hear from Trump? Is this going to be a formal announcement of a presidential campaign?
It's always so terrifying to predict what Donald Trump is going to do. But yeah, if I had to put money on it, yes, I expect a presidential run announcement. I expect it to have some fanfare. I expect him to have some VIPs there. Word on the street is that he's invited quite a few. I've talked to some who are invited as well. So he's definitely gearing up for a major announcement tonight. And today he tweeted out some things or truthed out on his social network pictures of himself 2024 and like a flying leap. I mean, if this is not a presidential run. Yeah, if this is not an announcement of that, it's going to be the greatest, switcheroo ever done by a politician. And my own take on it, Dan, is people need to take a breath, okay? Because the people who are over Trump are salivating over DeSantis. And, Trump's done. He's the worst. He's politically toxic to everybody. Everything he touches turns to, what? And they want him to just step aside. I get it. But you know what? It's a presidential primary and he doesn't have to. That's not the way our system works. His voters get a say. He gets a run. And if you don't like it, too bad. That's not the way politics works. It's there for the good of the country. You know what? He doesn't see the good of the country resting with him not running. And, for the people who love Trump and are saying DeSantis just really shouldn't run. It's going to get ugly. To them, too. DeSantis is allowed to go in there and swing for it. Why shouldn't he? If he doesn't, he could wind up like Chris Christie, who we all tried to anoint at one point in 2012, I think. He decided not to run, and then his career totally imploded, and he was never able to run again. He couldn't even sell 14 books. So if I were DeSantis, I'd be accurately calculating maybe now or never, and the stars are, with me, and the wind is at my back, and I might as well give it. It's going to get ugly. That's true. Trump is not going to go easy on DeSantis. And I think DeSantis, as much as he would like to take the high road, you can't really when you're fighting Trump. I mean, look at what he did to all those guys he was up against in that primary. They all tried to take the high road, and eventually they all got pulled down into the gutter fight that Trump's going to make it. It's part of doing business with him. And so what I say, Dan, is it's on. It's American politics. It's rough. It's rowdy. It ain't beanball, as they say. Let's go.
My goodness, this is going to be one heck of a 2 years there. Apparently, there's currently some sort of plane above Mar-a-Lago calling Donald Trump a loser and one of those banners. So it is very much on. I think it's really fascinating point that you make, though, Megyn, because DeSantis just didn't even want to talk about Trump today. And that's unrealistic, isn't it? He's going to have to talk about Trump. He's going to have to engage.
Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't, if he just stays the course with never engaging him for the next 8-9 months until the rest of the presidential candidates declare, because typically it happens in the late spring. So if he says nothing, he doesn't respond to him at all, he's going to get dinged up and badly. That means allowing Donald Trump to control the narrative. Because while DeSantis has had several wins since he became governor, he's not in the news every week. It's not like the news cycle revolves around Ron DeSantis and what he's doing in Florida. Occasionally he pops up and we cover it and the Republicans go crazy for him. But if Trump day after day after day is slinging the mud and saying the terrible things and DeSantis just keeps governing, honestly, I don't see that as a very effective strategy because Trump can hurt you. He will ding DeSantis up with the core base, the 35%. There was a new poll out today showing there had been 2 suggesting DeSantis was in the lead over Trump by about 7 points. Today, there was one giving Trump the clear lead by more than that. So Trump can hurt you. He can do a lot of damage, and DeSantis is going to learn that the hard way if he never responds.
But Megyn, I guess the key question for me is after what happened last week in the midterms, which has unquestionably damaged the Trump brand, I think we can concede that this wasn't a good midterm result for him.
No.
Is there a chance DeSantis could beat him in the primaries? Because up until now, the Republicans who I've been talking to, including people who are close to Trump and people who aren't close to Trump, so from both ends of the Republican spectrum, had said, look, if Trump runs, he wins. But has the midterm changed that now?
It may have, and we need more data points. We haven't seen enough polling. The Trump base are the ones who get to decide that is the answer. And so far, the core Trump base, because I talk on my show every day, I've been watching the polls. I would be very shocked if they wavered on their love for Trump. He got them off the bench. They weren't active voters. They voted because of him. They're not really Republicans. They're Trumplicans. Yeah. And so will they leave that party to go vote for someone who's Trump light? I don't think so, Dan. I've been saying this all. I don't. Now, what does that do? Does it mean that DeSantis cannot win a primary? No, it maybe if he can grow the rest of the party behind him and Trump just sticks with his core 35%, perhaps DeSantis could win. It would require all the others falling away. All the non-Trump lane must consolidate against Trump. That's how he won the first time. He splintered the field and he got, the 35%, which is enough to put him over the top. So if there'd have to be no splintered field. It'd have to be, man to man. But the thing is, if DeSantis beats Trump, I have the same question. What do the Trump core voters do? The Trumplicans. Do they vote for DeSantis? They're going to be ticked off at DeSantis. Do you think Trump's going to be like, I lost fair and square. Now let's all get behind Ron? Really? Okay.
No way. No way.
We'll see.
And he'll probably hint at an independent run.
He could do an independent run, and he could definitely be a spoiler for the GOP ticket in the general election. To that, I say, look, this is what the Republicans voted for. They brought this on themselves. I realize not the entire party wanted Trump, but Trump won, and the party came home. That's how he won. So now you must deal with the strength that you created. And no one feels sorry for you. It's going to be a bloody battle. It's going to play out the way the American electorate wants it to play out. And no one should be crying in their soup. As Rick Grinnell said on my show last week, put on your big boy pants and it's on.